tonight on CTV3 News. Sana 7 village faces environmental alarm following discovery of dead fish in river. BSCFA urged to accept controversial sugar deal that could wipe out nearly a decade of fair trade claims. Belize strengthens OTC drug controls to protect public from misuse and health risk. And a powerful call is made to move women-led businesses beyond survival and into sustained growth. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Wednesday, March 18th, 2026.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails. Paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
ExpressNet now has up to 400 megabytes of high-speed internet. Choose the speed that fits you. From faster browsing to faster gaming. Connect more devices at once. Or bundle it with Express Plus and HBO Max. Internet and streaming entertainment, all in one.
Yeah, faster starts here.
Sign up today at any Centaur office or contact us to get started.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
The way some people are talking you'd never know, but the most blatant nepotism and fleecing of BTL took place under UDP when Dean Barrow was Prime Minister. Barrow placed his son Anwar on BTL's board in 2009 as soon as he nationalized the company, which would eventually cost Belizeans almost $650 million for shares barely worth $200 million. By 2014, Anwar was appointed executive chairman with extravagant salary and perks. Under him, BTL spent wildly on ventures that did not materialize and never brought any returns. Under the Barrows, BTL's profits plummeted from $38 million in 2009 to $17 million in 2019, and $10 million in 2020, as the company hardly paid dividends to government and people of Belize. Anwar Barrow has no moral authority to talk about BTL, as it was under his nepotistic rule, appointed by his father, that BTL was most blatantly fleeced.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
We recently formed MOUs with the American Hotel and Lodging Education Institute, which is the education arm of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, and also with the American Culinary Federation to do culinary training. We're here to celebrate our accomplishments. And this is not about replacing Belizean cuisine. This is about, we want the Belizean cuisine, we want the Belizean richness and diversity. Right? So this is about your skills. You all know what you all learned, so it's about transferring that skill.
We want to inspire this career because, you know, it's amazing. You love what you do, right? And it really is something that I think we can inspire other young Belizeans to undertake. And it's now part of your responsibility as those who have received this training and see a pathway for greater things.
Just to put it into perspective, there's only about 6,000 certified executive chefs in North America. There is only 69 certified master chefs in the world. There is less than 10 certified executive pastry chefs in this entire world. And now in Belize, we have 3 sitting in this room.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. The Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, BSCFA, faces a critical decision as it is being urged to accept a settlement offer from TNL Sugar Limited, TLS, and Belize Sugar Industries Limited, BSI, that could end a protracted legal battle over unpaid fair trade premiums. However, legal experts warn that the proposed agreement heavily favors the sugar companies, potentially costing BSCFA nearly 10 years' worth of rightful claims without any financial recompense for past dues. In June 2024, BSCFA initiated legal action against BSI and the TLC, seeking fair trade premiums amounting to $4,922,470.80 Belize dollars for the 2021-2022 and the 2022 and 2023 crop years. The association also claimed damages for alleged unlawful conspiracy and breach of contract. TLS responded swiftly by attempting to dismiss the case, urging that Belize's court lacked jurisdiction. This motion was denied on July 4, 2025, by Justice Mansour of the High Court of Belize, who affirmed jurisdiction and awarded costs to BSCFA. TLS has appealed this decision with the appeal querying set for March 30, 2026. The settlement proposal requires BSCFA to take drastic measures, permanently and irrevocably withdraw the current lawsuit within 7 days of signing, waive all rights of fair trade premiums for every crop year prior to 2026-2027, including 2023-2024 and 2024-2025, relinquish the awarded cost, release BSI and TLS from all past and future claims related to these issues, and maintain strict confidentiality on the agreement's terms. In exchange, TLS commits to signing a Letter of Enhancement Agreement, LOE, for the single crop year 2026-2027 and to withdraw its appeal. Both BSI and TLS deny any wrongdoing. Legal counsel from Marin Young and Company LLP highlights troubling aspects for the LOE, which represents the sole benefit BSCFA would receive under the settlement. The LOE grants TLS sole discretion over the volume of sugar deemed fair trade eligible, with its premium calculations deemed final and binding, and with no guarantee of renewal beyond the 2026-2027 season. Additionally, any future disputes would be settled under English law in London, potentially limiting BSCFA's access to local legal remedies. Marin Young and Company opinion, dated March 6, 2026, outlined 4 major consequences of accepting the settlement. First, BSCFA would forfeit claims exceeding $8 million, including the current $4.9 million suit planned estimated premiums for subsequent years, without receiving any compensation. Second, BSCFA would abandon its core legal argument that fair trade premiums are owed regardless of signing an LOE, a precedent that has yet to be judicially tested and could secure future earnings. Third, the settlement concedes that BSI and TLS have the authority to determine premium recipients absent an LOE, a precedent that could be detrimental in future disputes. Finally, the agreement fails to prevent the companies from employing the same withholding tactics in future negotiations, potentially undermining BSAFA's bargaining power indefinitely. Central to the debate is the unresolved legal question: are fair trade premiums payable to BSAFA regardless of an LOE's existence? BSAFA asserts yes. TLS denies it. Accepting the settlement would foreclose the opportunity for a definitive court ruling on this pivotal issue, which could have lasting financial implications for Sugar Farmers Association. So that is the settlement offer to the BSCFA. But will it be accepted? Well, that depends on the membership of the association, who will vote for or against the proposed settlement on Sunday during an emergency general meeting. But even before the GM, leaders of the association are already sounding the alarm. According to the chairman of the BSCFA Orange Walk branch, Fred Ortega, farmers must carefully consider whether to accept a settlement that offers limited immediate benefit but risks sacrificing significant long-term rights and compensation.
Also, according to them, for us to get fair trade premium for the following year, they want us to sign this proposal that they have sent to us, on which we forego the issue with the court, and with that, then we forego also for the 4 years that they have not paid us anything. We forego also that portion, on which it's really hard for us, Kami, because as an organization, as an association, and as farmers, we have invested every year so that we can maintain the certification and so that we can comply with the standards of fair trade. So in this letter that they have sent to us, it's no beneficial to the farmers because they are asking us to forego without granting us anything for those years that have passed without getting any premium.
Which we're talking about fair trade premiums for 2021, 2022, 2022, and 2023, right?
Exactly, and 2023, 24, and 24, 25, and this crop that is ongoing right now.
So what this means is that if you decide to sign this agreement, you will not start to receive fair trade premiums until the next crop, which will be 2026, 2027.
Well, that is what is in the letter that they have sent.
Okay. Now, if you all decide to sign this agreement, how much money are you giving up when it comes to fair trade premiums?
Well, it's in the vicinity of $11 to $12 million, Ms. Ami.
The proposed settlement agreement says Ortega puts more than the fair trade premiums at risk.
Bring up everything, Ms. Kami, because once we sign, because the letter is very clear. Bring up everything, Ms. Kami, because once we sign, because the letter is very clear. They want us to forgo everything, even the premium, everything. They want us to forget about that, and then we come to a new start according to them. But with that, we won't be able to, on the future, we won't be able to negotiate anything on behalf of the farmers, because once we sign, or once the farmer give the order to sign, we are signing that we are giving up our rights to negotiate anything on behalf of the farmers.
So this does not only have to do with fair trade then?
No, it has to
do with fair trade premiums.
No, it entails everything. It entails whatsoever comes within the industry, on the production sector, on what the association negotiate or don't negotiate on behalf of the farmers. So we won't be able, once that letter that have been sent is signed, then we are foregoing everything as our rights, as kin farmers, as members of the association. We won't be able to negotiate anything on behalf of the farmers, much less an individual farmer will have that ability to negotiate on his own behalf. As you know, in every negotiation, there are certain times that we have to come to the table and we reach to a certain point where we come together and we agree on certain things. It's not that we will get everything. If you can get everything you want, well, it's okay. But in this case, we won't be able to negotiate anything because it's what they put on the table we have to accept. Because if once we sign, that is what we will be putting on our signature, that we are foregoing all our rights and we have no opportunity. Let's say that there would become a dispute on something that is not going on good. Once we have the dispute, that means that they have the opportunity and have the opportunity to do whatsoever they feel like, and they can remove the premium from us if they are not satisfied that we are working, as they say, that we are not complying with their modus of doing work.
Prime Minister John Bressender today also addressed the proposed agreement presented to the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, emphasizing that the government will not interfere in the matter. According to the Prime Minister, the decision ultimately rests with the association, which must determine what is in the best interest of its members.
That's not for us to decide. That's a decision that they have to make. Has absolutely nothing to do with government.
What has government proposed to them? Has government proposed that they drop the case?
No, government has not proposed for them to drop the case. What the government has been saying is that it is their right if they want to go to court. But at the same time, what they have been doing has been spending all of this time losing money from fair trade and so forth to the detriment of its farmers. And it's a decision that they want to make if they want to continue with that or not.
However, speaking from a personal standpoint as a farmer, PM Bressender revealed that he previously made the decision to leave the BSCFA. He explained that the association has not been receiving premiums for several years. In contrast, he noted that the Progressive Sugarcane Farmers Association has secured agreements that provide tangible benefits to its members, including premium payments.
Let's put it this way. I have left the BSCFA because I don't see I'm getting anywhere, so I went to Progressive. Progressive have signed on to fair trade, so we'll be able to get the support from fair trade.
Residents of San Esteban Village have raised alarms after spotting a large number of fish floating lifelessly in the river and scattered along its banks over the weekend. This incident echoes a broader environmental issue affecting northern Belize, particularly the New River, which has experienced several major fish kill events in recent years, specifically in 2019, 2021, and 2023. So while it's not an unusual occurrence for San Estebanos, they did report the matter to the Department of the Environment, as this recent incident involved thousands of dead fish washing ashore and emitting unpleasant odors, profoundly impacting the local community.
And so we responded to the incident as we normally do. And so just to be clear, the fish kill is a annual observation, and so it happens almost every year. And the Department of Environment has been responding to fish kills in that particular area for many years. We responded to this fish kill, and so we responded to the incident as we normally do. And so we responded to the incident as we normally do. And so just to be clear, the fish kill is a annual observation, and so it happens almost every year. And the Department of Environment has been responding to fish kills in that particular area for many years. We responded to this fish kill, and we have collected data, and so we have a fair enough idea of what's the possible cause. Some observation in terms of the change of the river was reported to us around March the 10th, and I think up to until today, the issue is getting some relief. And so we went out on Monday, March 16th, and we collected data. And the data that we have shows that the dissolved oxygen from the toll bridge all the way to San Esteban and 3 miles past San Esteban, the dissolved oxygen was extremely low in all the different sites that we sampled. So the way we conduct our sampling is we conduct sampling in terms of the column, the water column. So we take measurements at surface, 5 feet, and at 10 feet. And then we also do the left and right side of the river. So we do that for each site. And we had a sampling site at the toll bridge. We had one at an area we call, by Maracas, we call Lamanai River Tours. We had one in front of Elanar's Liquor, one in front of BSI's, the Belcogen's discharge, one in front of BSI's discharge. We had one in the middle of Orange Drop Town, one by the San Esteban Bridge, one in Trial Farm, one in San Esteban, and then the final one 3 miles downstream from San Esteban. And from all the samplings that we did and all the tests, we could observe that the dissolved oxygen was extremely low. We have data to show that the dissolved oxygen, for example, in the middle of Orange Drop Town was around 0.54 milligrams per liter, right? And so from an ecological standpoint, any aquatic ecosystem becomes stressed when the dissolved oxygen is at 3 micrograms per liter and below. So the higher the dissolved oxygen, the better. Normally we have dissolved oxygen around 5, 6, right?
According to Chief Environmental Officer Anthony Mai, several factors can lead to low dissolved oxygen.
Is that we have information to show how the geology of the river is such that the river is very flat. And because it's flat, it runs very slow. And so what that causes is that causes anything to go into the river to take its time and settle at the river bottom, right? So it's not flushing, it's not flowing. Also, the river is a tidal river, and so the New River discharges into the Caribbean Sea in the Corozal district. And whenever the tide rises, the river flows back way, right? And then you have salt water coming all the way into around San Esteban or so. So the unique layout and geology of the river contributes to why the river is stressed, right? So normally I have a river that flows very fast, the dissolved oxygen is normally high. River that flows slow, the dissolved oxygen is very low. In fact, I've seen data in some publications before around 1950, where water quality monitoring was done on the New River, and I could tell you the data that I saw shows that the dissolved oxygen back then was at 3 milligrams per liter, right? So you could call it baseline data. That was water quality that was done even before the sugar factory was in place. But again, that is a result of the dynamics of the river structure itself. So that's one key factor, right? The other factor is we measure at the various points that I mentioned. We measure for what we call in situ parameters, so parameters that you could measure on site, and then we took some samples in sample bottles and we brought them back to our lab to do testing. The in situ parameters we monitored for was temperature, pH, conductivity, salinity, dissolved solids, total suspended solids, chlorophyll A, and dissolved oxygen, right? And so when we look at all the data, the dissolved oxygen were extremely low at all the points. But also interestingly is the chlorophyll A level elevated as you go from surface to the floor of the river. That means around 5 feet and 10 feet, we have chlorophyll A levels around 3 micrograms per liter. So
we will keep following this issue and bring you updates in regard to the restoration of the New River. The Ministry of Health and Wellness, MOHW, is reinforcing the importance of updated regulations governing over-the-counter OTC medications, emphasizing that the measures are critical to protecting public health and ensuring the safe use of medicines nationwide. While the regulations of OTC medicines has long been in place in Belize, health officials say recent updates to the official medication list reflect evolving standards and the need to keep pace with changes in the pharmaceutical landscape. According to the ministry, OTC medicine lists clearly define what drugs can be sold freely to the public, and which require stricter control through pharmacies or prescriptions. These distinctions are essential to prevent misuse, overuse, and potential health risks associated with improper access to medication. Health authorities stress that the updated lists are part of ongoing efforts to safeguard residents by ensuring that only appropriate and safe medications are readily available without a prescription. The regulations also help guide suppliers, importers, and vendors in maintaining compliance with national health standards.
It's not a new regulation. Prescription drugs that or drugs that are prescription have always been prescription drugs. You need a valid prescription to access them from the pharmacy and for it to be dispensed. We have taken the liberty to separate pharmacy sale from general OTC because we know in Belize, in some rural areas, we don't have pharmacies everywhere, like especially down south. So we've put some items on general sale so that these items can be available at grocery store, providing that they're stored at the accurate temperature, not to affect the integrity of the product. So it's nothing new. I mean, as a pharmacist, you know that certain medication, antibiotic control drugs, drugs for NCDs, they require a prescription at all times.
Officials note that without proper oversight, the widespread availability of certain medications could pose serious risks, including incorrect self-diagnosis, harmful drug interactions, and abuse of pharmaceutical products.
Listen to the Orange Walk Town Council office by February.
And even in the private sector, if it is that you're seeing a doctor, you have your appointments that you need to meet whenever your refills are up. So let's say you're on your metformin as a diabetic. After that 3 months is up, you have to make sure that you meet your appointment to see your doctor. Because what it is that you have to make sure, and this is in the best interest of the patient, we need to make sure, or you need to make sure that the medication that you're taking is working. So in addition to getting your prescription filled, you need to see the doctor every so often, do your diagnostic tests, you need to do your blood works, you need to do your x-ray, ultrasound, to see if it is that the medication that you have been prescribed is working, or the doctor would need to change it to something else that can allow you to be a patient that is controlled and that your illness is controlled. So pretty much that is what we're ensuring, that we have control over the medication and that it is in the best interest of the patient that they get their checks done, and you're not taking a medication forever and ever and you don't know if it's working or you're getting worse. So antibiotics, that has always been prescription drugs. You need a prescription to get an antibiotic. And what are the consequences of taking an antibiotic without a prescription? We have antimicrobial resistance, which is very real. If it is that probably in the next 5 years, the medication becomes, or you become resistant to the antibiotic, and they're not making any more antibiotic, then you would die from a simple infection or a simple cold because none of the antibiotics are working, because your body or the bacteria within your body has learned to defend itself against the antibiotics. So it's not working anymore. And so you could die from a simple infection or a simple cold.
As Belize continues to modernize its healthcare system, the ministry says adherence to these regulations will remain a key component in protecting the well-being of all residents. Coming up next, price per pound of chicken increases by 6 cents. Stay tuned.
The Orange Walk Town Council is inviting applications from suitably qualified and motivated individuals to fill 5 garbage fee collector positions within our revenue department. Minimum requirements: high school diploma, friendly and people-oriented personality, tech-savvy, must own reliable transportation, preferably a motorcycle, honest and dependable. Interested applicants are asked to submit the following documents: application letter, copy of high school diploma, valid social security card, 2 character references. Applications must be submitted in person to the Orange Walk Town Council office by February 20th, 2026. Join our team and contribute to keeping Orange Walk clean and organized.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails. Paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
The Civil Registry Department and Vital Statistics Unit provides comprehensive information services to assist citizens in obtaining official documentation related to key life events. You can apply for birth, death, marriage, adoption, or deed poll certificates for records that have already been registered. You can also request tailored information extracts or certified copies of documents about specific life events. All Vital Statistics information services are available through the new Civil Registry and Vital Statistics System, CRVS. You can complete all services online from the comfort of your own home, or if you prefer face-to-face interaction or need additional support, you can visit their nearest office to complete any service. The new CRVS, digitally connecting citizens to all vital statistics services. Visit crvs.gov.bz today to access our services.
There's a saying I often return to, and that is a Chinese saying, that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Today, Belize chooses now, because Belize has always lived under the shade of the tree. Remember Sobumbre Floreo. Our forests, mangroves, rivers, and farms are not just features of our landscape, they are part of who we are as a people. They protect us from storms, feed our families, support livelihoods, and anchor our resilience in a changing climate. But we also know this truth: what we do not protect, we will eventually lose.
Greening Belize, 1 million trees for climate and sustainable development. Our forest cover is declining, especially after the fire season. What will be achieved? Restore and reforested lands, significant increase in hectares restored by 2035. Enhance carbon sequestration. We'll have improved data, mapping, and reporting systems with this. Institutional readiness, feasibility study and design for a national forestry incentive program. Community mobilization, which will build capacity and increase participation nationally, and improve governance.
For all environmentally conscious individuals and groups, CBOs, NGOs, community organizations, universities, come in to do their part to plant trees to assist in the restoration initiative for the country of Belize.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
Primera llegada con centro por parte de Pot. Vemos la repetición. Llegan los linderos del área. La número 7 llegó con todo Pot. Estamos en vivo, en directo a través del canal 53 de Centaur. Izquierda viene cámara. El número 7 saca el disparo largo. El disparo de cámara.
Nosotros somos los campeones, estamos listos para National.
Belize's vegetable production season is now in full swing with a bright variety of locally grown produce readily available across the country, according to Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, Servola Baiza. Baiza confirmed that farmers are currently harvesting key crops including onions, carrots, potatoes, lettuce, broccoli, and cauliflower, contributing to a strong supply of fresh produce on the local market. With this surge in domestic production, there is currently no need for importation of these vegetables. Consumers are being encouraged to support local farmers by purchasing Belizean-grown produce, which is now widely available and in peak condition.
We're getting some rains with this new, we expect some rain. I know it's been raining in some couple areas. With this cold front, this late cold front that's coming in. In terms of our what we call our winter production, if we want what we call in terms of our lettuce, broccoli, and cauliflower, and I mean they're on schedule. Our farmers are producing; they're doing well. Our onion crop and potato crops are coming in. And so carrots also is coming in at this time. So at this point, at this moment right now, we are not importing any of those products right now. We are basically just consuming our local production at this moment right now. This is the time right now when our local production comes in. And so we're not importing those things right now. We don't expect to import potatoes or onions and even carrots until about July, I believe. We might end up going way up into August because of we've been increasing our storage capacity. Both onions and potatoes store pretty well if they're handled well. So we can extend the supply of local product if we do good post-harvest management and if we are able to store well. So I think we should be able to extend our local consumption or local supply up to about July, I would say. Carrots does not store well, so we can't keep carrots in our reefers or stored for a long period of time. But we do have consistent production, and I think they've been able to produce carrots for 9 months now out of the year. So we're doing pretty good on that.
The Ministry of Agriculture says the current season highlights the growing strength of Belize's agricultural sector and underscores the importance of continued investment in local farming and infrastructure. Belizeans are facing another wave of price increases, this time hitting a staple in their daily meals, chicken. After recently experiencing a surge in fuel costs due to the conflict in Iran, consumers now can expect to pay more for chicken, not because of international tensions, but due to rising costs within the local poultry industry. Effectively, immediately, the price of chicken has risen by 6 cents per pound, translating to additional $3 on a standard 50-pound crate. This increase comes as a surprise to many Belizeans who rely on chicken as one of the most economical sources of protein. According to the Belize Poultry Association's manager, Armando Cowo, the increase had been anticipated for about 6 months, driven by the need for poultry farmers to secure viable return on their investments.
I must say
it did catch some people by surprise, but all the prices that are changing are catching everyone by surprise. But in our case, it's not related to the global situation currently in that is working out. We know that the Middle East war does have an impact on the Belizean economy. There's no doubt about that. But it has nothing to do with it. Our prices just haven't changed since after COVID. It has been stable. We managed to stabilize it for some time. And now we need to move on. We look at the situation in the industry, and we have to bear in mind that there's a situation in the current economy that I don't know if other groups of industries are being affected, but in our case, the labor is very, very much in short supply in our industry. And to retain our workforce, we have to go above and beyond the minimum wage that the government is offering. So for us, it's a retention of skilled labor, and there's a cost to that, plus other costs in innovation and investments that need to be looked at. And so we decided to go ahead with this.
With the rise in chicken, consumers will soon begin to experience a higher cost for meals. However, Kawa argues that the price hike is unwarranted, insisting that the $3 increase per crate should not result in more expensive dishes.
A lot of people are making a song like it's exorbitant, it's too high, and when you look at it, after 4 to 5 years of no increase, 6 cents, even if there would have been increases every year, 6 cents is not what people are making it out to be, because at 6 cents a pound, your regular rice and beans doesn't give you a pound of chicken. Your regular barbecue is not a pound of chicken. The fact that some people have reacted and say, oh, I have to carry up the price of my products, that's fine if they want to take it up. We don't have an issue with that. That's something for the consumer to decide if they want to buy that product at whatever price they want to sell it, which is why we are sensitizing the consumer now that the 6 cents is not what people are claiming it to be, that it's too much. When you look at it, the average person in Belize eats around 120 pounds of chicken per year. That's our per capita consumption. 120 close to 121. Or even if you have to take it up to 122. If you multiply that by 6 cents, you will get between $7 and $8 increase on your table for the year. It's not like what some people are making it out to be, that it's like, okay, I used to sell my rice and beans for $10, or I used to sell it for $12. Now I carry it up to X dollars.
Okay.
They are using, to me, in my personal opinion, they are using the product increase for them to recover other costs that perhaps they were afraid to recover or were not looking at it in that light, or something. There's something not right with how these other small businesses are projecting this to be. Because there are other costs that have gone up. A lot of other things around us have gone up. But I don't know if chicken is the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back.
While the situation faced by poultry producers will be monitored, Kawa says another increase is not expected anytime soon.
6 cents increase. Do you all see this as alleviating the challenges that you are facing,
Yeah,
or it's
definitely.
Go ahead.
Definitely. It is enough to meet the current challenges that we're having, and it does cover us for the next couple of years, unless something drastic happens and changes the whole equation. Then that's another matter. But as we currently stand, that's how it is.
Okay, and when we talk about the increase, is this only on the pound of chicken that's sold at the poultry stations, or we're talking about the special package chicken like leg and thighs and all of that? It's all across the board.
A powerful call to move women-led businesses beyond survival and into sustained growth echoed throughout Belize City today as the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry BCCI, in partnership with the Development Finance Corporation DFC, hosted its fourth annual Women's Empowerment Forum. Held under the theme From Survival to Scale, Financing Women for Growth, the forum drew a dynamic mix of entrepreneurs, corporate leaders, policymakers, and development partners from across the country. The event focused on breaking down financial barriers and strengthening the role of women as key drivers of Belize's economy. Throughout the day, attendees engaged in panel discussions tackling some of the most pressing challenges that face women in Belize. Topics range from transitioning informal ventures into sustainable enterprises to improving access to financing, promoting workplace inclusion, preventing harassment, and harnessing digital innovation for growth. The event, according to Chief Executive Officer for BCCI, Kim Aikman, has grown into a vital platform that connects women with the tools, networks, and funding pathways needed to succeed in an increasingly competitive business landscape.
This is our fourth Women's Forum, and 4 years ago, the BCCI realized that we needed to come together as women and support each other, because very often people look at the BCCI as just a business organization. But if you've been at the forum today, you've heard that 60% of our businesses are women-led or owned by women, are women-led or owned by women. So we wanted to do something that was very well-rounded, that spoke about not only the access to financing or the challenges that women face, but also personal health issues that we're able to relate to. We are in our offices during the daytime, but our work doesn't end there. We have the silent part of our work, which is going home, taking care of families. We are nurturers. And so today we spoke about that. We spoke about sexual harassment, how that affects us. We spoke about menopause, things that we normally would not hear in a business meeting or a business forum. So we wanted to bring all of us together and learn from each other's experiences and also hear from the experts in those fields.
Hosting the forum during Women's Month, according to Aikman, carries special significance as it highlights the achievements of women while addressing the systemic challenges that still exist.
Yes, we always do it in Women's Month. And for too long, we have just been sitting on the wayside, as we heard, having our little stalls on the wayside or cooking in our kitchens. And we didn't think to scale our businesses up because it's been so difficult for us to be able to access the financing that we need. You heard one of the experiences from one of the panelists who had a no when she went to try to get a loan for her business because they didn't believe that she was able to do it. And we wanted to bring that experience to other businesses who may be thinking that don't be afraid to scale up. And we just wanted to dispel of the fear that many women have in getting out there getting the financing to scale their businesses up. And I think today was a good example. People really gave their experiences and others learned from it.
I noticed also that there were different stakeholders also participating as well. I saw Beltrade and other entities.
Yes.
Talk about
Yes. The Chamber has always been trying to formalize businesses. A lot of women businesses are in the informal sector because they're afraid of coming out. We have tax policies. As soon as you hang a shingle, the municipality is there for trade license, etc. So we brought out these other businesses. We brought out Social Security Board, Beltrade, DFC. We have a digitization project that the Chamber is running that helps entrepreneurs to digitize, to be more efficient. Financial Services Commission, all these different organizations we brought out so that people have access to them one-on-one, give them their examples, what they're facing, and get good advice from them.
What began as a smaller gathering has grown into a nationally recognized platform, attracting a wider cross-section of stakeholders and offering more comprehensive discussions and opportunities for women at different stages of their business journey.
Yes, well, I know the first year we started, we had 50 people. Well, we catered for 50. We ended up with about 65, 70, and it keeps growing. This year we had 180 women in here. And so we recognize that they recognize the value of it. And we have seen them grow. I mean, our project, we're finishing up our project right now with the IDB, and we have seen women take the bull by the horns. They've digitized, they've stopped being afraid of it, they've become more efficient. They're using Google Sheets, or they're using accounting programs, QuickBooks, etc., to manage their finances, and they are accessing the financial institutions with more confidence. So I think if we continue to build on this, hopefully next year we have more success stories.
One of the highlights of today's event was a women's $1,000 grant competition. 8 contestants took the stage to pitch their businesses, presenting their personal journeys, funding strategies, and financial performance to a panel of judges. In the end, 2 micro-enterprises, Oma Organics and My Cielo Blue, emerged as top performers, earning grant funding for their innovation and strong potential of growth. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails. Paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
The way some people are talking you'd never know, but the most blatant nepotism and fleecing of BTL took place under UDP when Dean Barrow was Prime Minister. Barrow placed his son Anwar on BTL's board in 2009 as soon as he nationalized the company, which would eventually cost Belizeans almost $650 million for shares barely worth $200 million. By 2014, Anwar was appointed executive chairman with extravagant salary and perks. Under him, BTL spent wildly on ventures that did not materialize and never brought any returns. Under the Barrows, BTL's profits plummeted from $38 million in 2009 to $17 million in 2019, and $10 million in 2020, as the company hardly paid dividends to government and people of Belize. Anwar Barrow has no moral authority to talk about BTL, as it was under his nepotistic rule, appointed by his father, that BTL was most blatantly fleeced.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
This building that we have gotten, the Welcome Center, is not just walls and it's not just here to beautify the Punta Gorda town and as an extension the Toledo district and Belize, but it's also here to play a main purpose and a role, and that is to continue to promote our tourism sector in Belize. This provides us a platform and a venue for us to be able to do multiple things in working towards enhancing the tourism environment in Toledo and really showcasing it not only to locals but also to our international guests, which are paramount for us to continue to grow this industry.
This project, like others that we're working on throughout the country, was designed and is being delivered by Belizeans. We have spoken to the communities, we've spoken to tourism stakeholders and what needs to be done to ensure that we have the necessary infrastructure to improve the quality of the visitor experience.
The Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change, and Solid Waste Management, through its World Water Day Committee led by the National Hydrological Service, joined the global community in commemorating World Water Day 2026. Observed annually on March 22nd under the theme Where Water Flows, Equality Grows, this United Nations-led observance highlighted the importance of fresh water and the sustainable management of water resources. This year's commemoration underscored the critical role water plays in sustaining communities, ecosystems, agriculture, and national development. To mark the occasion, the committee hosted a series of events aimed at engaging young people and raising awareness about water conservation and management. The commemoration began with a youth water debate on March 17th, during which students discussed key water challenges and opportunities facing Belize. The debate provided a platform for young voices to explore innovative ideas and highlight the importance of responsible water management. By engaging youth and fostering national dialogue, the National Hydrological Service aimed to inspire great awareness of the role every citizen plays in protecting the country's water resources. Empowering young leaders helped ensure that Belize's rivers, aquifers, and ecosystems remained healthy and productive for generations to come. The public was encouraged to follow the activities and join in recognizing the value of water and the importance of safeguarding this vital resource. 14 Belizean women are being celebrated by the National Women's Commission, the Ministry of Human Development, Family Support and Gender Affairs, and the Special Envoy for the Development of Families and Children at the 21st Annual Outstanding Women's Awards ceremony held today during Women's Month. These recipients were honored for their unwavering commitment to uplifting the most vulnerable in their communities. Inspired by Beijing Platform for Action, each woman recognized for her extraordinary dedication and selfless service, embodying the spirit of progress and equality. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Thursday, March 19th here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3believenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3believenews or our YouTube channel at ctv3newstv. From all of us here at CTV3, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.